Welcome back to my channel. I think I said welcome back first. Well, just welcome back, guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Back for another game day special, just in time for the Super Bowl. We're doing onion rings today. Maybe a little different than you've had them before, but it's just the classic kind of just turn up, cranked up, amped up for game day in a new and exciting way. I'm gonna start putting the tools that I use in. So this is the induction cooktop. I got it at Costco for about 70-ish bucks, and it actually came with a pot and a lid as well. This is my cast iron skillet from Target. Every household should have one. You can even get them at like Ace Hardware, Walmart. I'm sure you can get them anywhere. I got this particular one at Target. I think I have like 4 or 5 of them. I love serving in them. They're just great. They retain heat nicely. They add flavor into everything you make in them. It's awesome. Bacon's going in. So 4 slices. I kind of diced this as small as I could when it was raw, and then I'll mince it again after it's cooked and dry. Now you can see in the background I just added a plate with some paper towel. That's where I'm going to drain this at when I'm done. Now this is my favorite kitchen tool, not ever, but I use it all the time, and it's a wooden slotted spatula. I can't tell you the things that I've used it for. I know that there's going to be an image of it. I got it at Williams-Sonoma. It was 14 bucks, which is kind of expensive for a wooden slotted spatula, but it's so sturdy, it's held up, it stood the test of time. It was one of the very first, when I got serious about cooking, items that I purchased, and I love it still to this day. I highly recommend it. I don't even know the brand though, but it was from Williams-Sonoma. All right, now that those are cooked through, we're gonna put them onto this cutting board. And I'm gonna mince them nicely, get them as small as possible. While I'm mincing those though, I am gonna go to some all-purpose flour, about a cup sifted, and then 1 bottle of IPA. Now you can use whatever you have locally. This is from a local brewery in Michigan, Bell's. It's two-hearted, and it's a nice, hoppy American IPA. I love it. It is, I'm not an IPA fan, I'm not really a hops fan, but I love this beer for some reason. I feel like it adds such nuanced flavor to these guys. You know, there's not a lot of ingredients in the onion rings, right? It's flour, salt, onions, and beer. So, you know, this is our biggest chance to impart a ton of flavor into the situation. So you want to whisk it. You want to get all the lumps out. You want it to be nice and smooth and almost like the consistency of pancake batter, maybe even a little thinner. You're going to let it set in a warm place and kind of do what it needs to do to give you a really good end product. So whisk it, get all the lumps out, and then leave it while you make the rest of this condiment. And actually, the condiment requires more work, I think, than the onion rings, but it's worth it, I promise. It pays off. So yeah, back to the mincing of the bacon, getting it nice and finely chopped, and that's just so we can have a homogeneous situation. So once we get this entire dip together, we want everything to kind of be the same size. So you'll notice, like, I really did take the time to use my knife skills and rake through my jalapeno, rake through these bacon. I want to make everything kind of the same size so that when it hits your palate, you don't notice anything. It all kind of marries together well. So this is a medium mixing bowl. Another tip from me to you is Marshall's, Home Goods, TJ Maxx. Hit up their clearance racks. You can get great deals. I think that was $3, and you can't have too many mixing bowls. Mayonnaise is gonna go in first. This is like 1/4 to 1/2 cup. And then sour cream's next. Now, I like the flavor of sour cream better than mayonnaise. I'm just a sour cream guy. It does make the end product a little thinner if you're gonna use more sour cream, so be cognizant of that. And if you like mayonnaise, feel free to use more of it. It's not gonna hurt anything, and it will make it thicker. And it kind of depends on what you're gonna do with this. I wanted this a little thinner because I don't want it to like destroy the onion ring when someone tries to dip it in there. But I use this dip for so many different things that if you're gonna use it for like crudite with like celery and carrots and things, then you can have a thicker dip, right? You're gonna notice that I whisk the crap out of this guy between each addition, and that's because I really want to marry everything together. Remember, homogeneous, a word I'm gonna try to use and put in my vocabulary in a way that doesn't make me sound like an idiot. Anyway, horseradish. This is a very underused ingredient in my humble opinion, and I use it in lots of different things. This and goat cheese. I love a sour tang. I love a gaminess, and I really feel like horseradish adds some nice, like, whoa, what's that? Jalapeno is the next, and it's a big, bold flavor. So if you're gonna use horseradish, you're gonna have to use it with big, bold flavors like jalapeno and bacon and a lot of the other things we're gonna put in here. Again, the jalapeno, I removed the membrane and the seeds. I don't want this to be overly spicy, so it just adds to the level, to the flavor profile of the end product. If you want it to be spicy, you'll need more, but this is for game day, it's for a crowd, so I want enough heat to make it interesting, but not so much that it alienates small children or people that don't like spicy things. Dried parsley goes in next, and then kosher salt, about a teaspoon, and we're really just adding ranch, quote-unquote, seasoning, stuff that you'd find in like your Hidden Valley Ranch packet. Just making it myself so you can kind of pick how much of each ingredient goes in. Dried dill is next. It's about a teaspoon. You can add more or less. Again, dill's a big, bold flavor, but we need it. We got to stand up to the horseradish, to the jalapeno, to the bacon, to all these big flavors we've already added. We want to make this really just kind of impactful. Garlic salt's next. Garlic salt, I mean, I don't really have anything to say about garlic salt. Sometimes when I put these the title cards in, I'm like, do I really need a title card of onion powder? Like, you know what onion powder is, but anyway. Onion powder's next. Again, in that whole ranch seasoning family, we're gonna add a teaspoon of that. You can play with them and add more or less if you like something better than I do. That's a big shake because I have a big dog. He's actually a puppy, but he's like a 140-pound Great Dane puppy. His name's Haven. Hopefully he can make an appearance sometime. This is dried minced onion, 1 tablespoon. We're gonna dump it on in. Other than that, we've got to add smoked paprika. Another seasoning that I use a lot. Oh, fresh pepper. I'm sorry, that too. A little bit of fresh cracked pepper. But I use smoked paprika a lot because I love the smokiness of it, the sweetness of it. And so when we talk about sour, hot, sweet, really layering flavor into everything that we make, condiments are a really impactful way to do it, right? Unless it's just straight up sour cream or something. If you're gonna make the condiment, if you're gonna make it yourself, if it's gonna be homemade, make it right, make it bold, and make it stand up. And so people remember it, right? Bacon's next. I love this little cutting board. My aunt got it for me. I can't remember, I don't know where she got it. You know what, I'll find out and I'll put it in the comments or I'll post it on Instagram or something like that. But I love it. It's not great to chop on, I'm not gonna lie. I typically chop on something else, but it's a great thing to like scoop in. I just really like it. It's interesting. So we're gonna dump this into the bowl we're gonna serve it in, and then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. And that's just so that I want it to kind of come back together, to firm up, and I want to give all the flavors inside of it time to marry together and really impact the end result. So I'm gonna cover this with press and seal, which I feel like is the most underrated thing you can get in the paper product aisle. People get saran wrap and they get foil and they get wax paper and they get parchment paper. Press and seal is awesome. You can use it for so many things. It makes it watertight, airtight. It makes things travel well. I just love it. Sweet onions are next. 2 large that I slice about 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch thick, just depending on the size of the onion. Any that are broken, you want solid rings for this, right? Like it's an onion ring, so don't use the crappy ones that you cut too thin or something. We're gonna put it right into the batter that's been chilling while we made our condiment. You're gonna let them sit in there a while, not too long. This is pretty easy, right? Like this is frying 101. And honestly, this beer batter you could use to fry anything. You could use it to fry shrimp, mozzarella sticks it's good with, lots of different things. Having a beer batter in your back pocket for like fish and chips, just different things, it's nice, right? And it's just a cup of beer and a cup of flour about, right? Like a bottle of beer and a cup of flour makes a decent batter. So in my cast iron skillet, I've got bacon fat and canola oil because I want to add some more bacon flavor actually into the onions. Onion rings are really simple, right? There's not a lot to them. And so any opportunity that I have to add or impart more flavor, I'm gonna take it, right? And so bacon fat's a good way to do that. Now, only like this, right? You're gonna pan fry these. You're not gonna put bacon fat, or at least I hope you're not, because bacon fat is like liquid gold. Don't use all of that in like a deep fryer or something. But if you have a Dutch oven and you're gonna just use canola oil, or if you're gonna make this for like a vegetarian situation, then you can use a Dutch oven, which would be bigger. They'll have more space to swim around. You can get more in each batch. This, you want 1 thin layer. Also understand that once you put the onions in there, it's gonna lower the temp. I'm about 375 degrees. Back to that first shot I showed you of the induction cooktop, that's probably my favorite part, is that it shows the degrees on there. Now I did 395 because that's the goal, right? Is that it's that temperature. But also once you put things in there and it's exposed to air, it's gonna reduce the temp. So to keep it at 375-ish, I put it in at 395. You can see there, like on the bottom, it shows the degrees at each space. So we're gonna put them onto this cookie sheet with a cooling rack on top of it and paper towel underneath it. And then I'm gonna hit it with some salt and some smoked paprika. to finish. Now, the best part about this is you can make this 4 hours in advance, 5 hours in advance, or even like an hour in advance. Put it on this, you'll remove the paper towel, and then you put it in your oven on keep warm, and they'll come out crisp and perfect. You're not gonna fry these to order. And I think that that's a lot of the reason people don't use onion rings for stuff like this. But the truth is, everyone loves onion rings. You know what everyone doesn't love? Cleaning. But here I am again, cleaning. Because my goal to be the next Ina Garten has not happened yet, so I don't have minions yet. If you know of any minions that work for free and want to come and clean up after me, I love it. But until then, I'm gonna show you the struggle. Again though, having the induction top, doing everything on the island makes it real easy to clean things up. I like it. Yeah. So we're gonna clean up. I'm serving these immediately, so I didn't do the warming in the oven part, but if you're not, feel free to. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for coming back. I'll try to get at least one, but possibly 2 more game days up before the Super Bowl. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please hit subscribe. Let me know what you think, and let me know the next thing you want to see. I really appreciate it, guys. Have a good day or night. I don't know how to end these. I'm never going to get this. Bye.